My name is Dina Collins, and I'm 29 years old. And I didn't know it yet, but last Thanksgiving would become the day my family quietly told me exactly what I'd always feared. I wasn't part of them. Not really. Not anymore. It began with a phone call. Casual, careless, cold. Dad called 3 days before Thanksgiving. His tone was light, almost cheerful, as if he was inviting me to a picnic instead of cutting me out of a holiday I'd helped pay for more times than I could count. "Hey, Dina," he said, "about Thanksgiving this year. I don't think we'll need you to come. We're keeping it small." His voice floated through the speaker like the weather forecast. I felt my breath hitch. "Oh," I managed. My throat felt tight, sandy. "Okay." "Yeah, just immediate family," he added, the words slicing deeper than he realized. "You understand." Immediate family. As if I wasn't that. As if I'd somehow become optional. He didn't even pause before adding, "But hey, don't forget the mortgage payment, right? $2,900 is due soon. We appreciate you helping us with that." My stomach twisted. The numbness rose first, as it always did. A cold fog wrapping around my ribs. "Of course," I whispered. We hung up, and then I just stared at my phone, feeling like someone had unplugged me from the world. Thanksgiving. Small family dinner. Except I wasn't family. Not really. I was a walking ATM, a financial safety net, a polite yes-maker they only remembered when something needed paying. They didn't even bother lying this time. No excuse about the house being full. No gentle lie about me being too busy. Nothing. Just, "We won't need you." I tried to shake it off. I told myself it didn't matter. I could spend the day with my boyfriend Aaron, maybe get dinner somewhere quiet. But it didn't stop the ache. That familiar, silent ache I'd lived with for years. Then came the photo. I was on break at work 3 days later, sipping coffee that tasted like cardboard, mindlessly scrolling through my phone, when I froze. A picture glowed on my screen like a slap across the face. My family's living room, the long, polished table, roasted turkey, mashed potatoes, cranberry sauce, wine glasses, candles, laughter. My mom throwing her head back, her wine glass lifted. Dad, red-faced and grinning at something off camera. My sister Sarah leaning into her boyfriend, his arm around her waist. Even the neighbors, Mr. and Mrs. Hendricks, were there, smiling like honorary family. Everyone was there. Everyone except me. My breath caught, sharp, jagged. For a second, I genuinely thought I was seeing things. A glitch, a memory, anything but reality. Then I saw the caption. "Thankful for family, grateful for everyone who made it. Everyone." That word, everyone, wrapped around my heart and squeezed. I didn't call. I didn't text. I didn't do anything. I just stared at their happy faces and felt something inside me slowly peel open. Something old, something bruised, something that had waited far too long to be heard. By morning, I felt hollow. At exactly 7:43 a.m., my phone buzzed. A text from Dad. "Hey, just confirming you're still covering our $2,900 mortgage, right?" A question? No. An expectation. An assumption carved into stone. I stared at that message for a long moment, then typed back one word. "Absolutely." Then I opened my banking app, scrolled to their auto payment, clicked cancel. It was shockingly simple, like flipping a switch in a dark room. For 4 hours and 19 minutes, nothing. Then wildfire. Calls. More calls. A flood of missed calls so fast my phone heated in my hand. 3, 5, 12, 28. By 8 p.m., the number blinked at me like a neon sign. 53 missed calls. All from them. I didn't answer. Not one. I didn't need to. They knew something had shifted, something they couldn't control. But they had no idea how much more was coming. See, they didn't just forget me. They didn't simply exclude me. They used me. I wasn't a daughter. I was their insurance policy, their financial seatbelt, their brake glass in case of emergency. And they were about to learn what it felt like when the seatbelt snapped. The next morning, Dad tried to call again. I ignored it. Mom left a frantic voicemail. I ignored that too. Sarah posted a pathetic Facebook rant calling me selfish. I didn't respond. I was calm. Too calm. The kind of calm you feel right before a bridge burns behind you. That night, as my phone buzzed nonstop in the background, I sat on my couch, legs tucked under a blanket, scrolling through the Thanksgiving photo again. And for once, instead of feeling hurt, I felt clarity. They had shown me the truth. They didn't forget me. They didn't keep it small. They simply didn't think I mattered unless I was paying. Fine. They were about to find out what it truly meant when I stopped. By the next morning, their panic had grown arms, legs, teeth. But beneath all that noise, I felt something I hadn't felt in years: control. I didn't rush to answer their calls. I didn't defend myself. I didn't even blink when Sarah posted a passive-aggressive quote about ungrateful people. I just let the silence do what it needed to do. Because silence terrifies people who only value you when you're useful. And my usefulness was over. But cutting the mortgage was just the first crack in their foundation. If they had built their comfort on my back, then I would simply step aside. Strike one, the mortgage. I'd been covering that $2,900 mortgage for nearly 3 years. Originally, it was supposed to be temporary. Dad had left his job because his boss wouldn't promote him, and Mom's part-time essential oils business wasn't exactly thriving. They asked me for a little help for a few months. That few months somehow became almost 3 years. So, removing the auto payment felt like tugging the first thread of a sweater they had wrapped themselves in. Strike two, Mom's credit card. Mom once told me she needed an emergency credit card just in case. Apparently, in case of emergency meant a weekly online shopping, takeout she didn't feel guilty about, bi-weekly spa trips to de-stress, more essential oils for her business. The balance was 3,700. I called the bank and canceled my cosigner authorization. A polite notification was sent to her immediately. Strike three, Sarah's shiny red lie. Sarah's red SUV was her pride. Sleek, spotless, more expensive than anything she actually earned. She'd begged me to co-sign on it, said she'd take over payments in a few months. A few months never came. I called the dealership. I'd like to initiate a voluntary repossession. The rep on the phone hesitated. Oh, ma'am, are you sure? That's unusual. I'm very sure. 3 moves, 3 cuts. Small, but enough to start the bleeding. The house was shaking now, but I wasn't finished. 8:06 a.m. Dad again. My phone lit up 6 times in a row before a text came through. This is serious. They're saying we're overdue. Call me. No greeting. No question about why the payment failed. Not even a hint of concern for me. Just panic about the money. I let the message sit unread. 8:10 a.m. Mom's turn. A shaky voicemail. Sweetheart, please. There's a mistake. The mortgage is past due. And my card, they said it's been canceled. Can you help us fix this? Her voice cracked in a way that might have once broken me. But all I could think was it a mistake when you uninvited me from Thanksgiving? Or was that intentional? 12:34 p.m. The group chat erupts. A new notification popped up. Group chat. Family. Sarah. You did this, didn't you? This is because you're mad you weren't invited. Me. What exactly did I do? Sarah. Don't play dumb. My car payment. They're saying it's going to be repossessed. Me. Maybe you should try making a payment for once. Silence. Then a private message from Sarah. You're just trying to hurt us because you're upset. You were always jealous of me because Mom and Dad love me more. Go ahead. Ruin everything. It's the only way you feel important. Jealous. The word lodged in my chest like a shard of glass. I opened her profile, the curated little world she loved showing off. Photo after photo with my parents. Vacations I was never invited to. Birthdays I didn't know happened. Holidays they never mentioned. And then I saw it. Posted 2 weeks before Thanksgiving. A picture of Sarah hugging Mom, both grinning, captioned, "Family is everything. So grateful to have real family around." Real family. For a moment, bile rose in my throat. But I swallowed it down. I wasn't going to react emotionally. Not anymore. Emotion had only made me compliant. Action, quiet, calculated action, was how this story would change. Mrs. Carmichael, the unofficial family historian. Suddenly, I remembered something. Mrs. Carmichael, our nosy neighbor, attended every family event she could wedge herself into, always with her giant camera around her neck, uploading photos to Facebook before the dessert was served. So I sent her a casual message. Hi, Mrs. C. Hope you're doing well. I couldn't make it to Thanksgiving. Did you happen to snap a few pictures? Would love to see everyone. She responded in seconds. Oh, Dina, of course. I have plenty. Sending now. Within minutes, 7 crystal clear photos dropped into my inbox. Every one of them looked like a punchline. My parents laughing. Sarah curled against her boyfriend. Mom's hand on Sarah's shoulder. Dad carving the turkey. Neighbors raising glasses. Everyone present. Everyone smiling. Everyone but me. Perfect. I saved all the photos, selected one, sent it to my mother with a single line. Did you enjoy Thanksgiving with your small family? She saw it immediately, and instantly the calls began. Mom, Dad, Sarah, repeatedly. I ignored them, all of them. Pizza, wine, and panic. That night I ordered pizza. opened a cheap bottle of wine, turned my phone face down as it buzzed relentlessly. Not with regret, not with remorse. With fear. They weren't sorry they left me out. They were afraid of losing what mattered most to them. My money. The next morning, Dad tries to regain control. A new message popped up. Enough of this. We raised you. We made sacrifices. And this is how you repay us? I typed slowly, deliberately. Raised me or used me? This isn't repayment, it's reimbursement. Sarah's public spin. Hours later, Sarah posted a public status. Some people will tear apart their own family for attention, but real family never gives up. Her friends commented, cousins too, random relatives liking and praising her strength. They wanted to tell their version of the story. Fine, I had mine. And mine came with receipts. I went through every message, every guilt trip, every desperate ask for help. I created a digital archive. Clean, organized, undeniable. Then I posted, family isn't who you're born to. It's who shows up when it matters. For years, I covered their bills and cleaned up their messes. And the moment I wasn't useful, I was forgotten. I'm done being their backup plan. I attached one of Mrs. Carmichael's Thanksgiving photos, the one where everyone was laughing except me, because I wasn't there. Then I hit post. Reactions exploded instantly. Shock, support, judgment, curiosity. I didn't care, because the truth was finally out. By evening, the calls had gone from frantic to furious to begging. And then came the message that told me everything I needed to know about how this would end. From Mom, we're going to the neighbor's July 4th barbecue. Everyone wants to see you. It'll be nice. Let's show them how strong our family is. There it was, pretending, performing, image over truth, appearance over accountability. They still thought I'd show up and smile for them. They wanted a show. Fine, I'd give them one they would never forget. July 4th arrived heavy and humid, the kind of day where the sun feels too bright for its own good. I stood in front of my mirror, tying my hair up, watching my reflection with a strange sense of detachment. This wasn't a holiday. This was an execution, not of people, but of lies. My mom's text still sat at the top of my inbox, sugary and fabricated. Everyone wants to see you. Let's show them how strong our family is. Not, we're sorry, not, we want to talk, not, we hurt you. Just, be our prop again. Be our good, obedient daughter. Smile, perform, pretend. Not today. I slipped on a simple navy dress, grabbed my phone, and headed out. Aaron, my boyfriend, offered to come with me, but I didn't want him dragged into this. I kissed him on the cheek and said, I need to do this alone. He held my hand for a beat longer than usual and whispered, then make sure you walk away with your head high. The barbecue. The street was decked out in red, white, and blue. Kids darted between tables, sparklers in hand. The grill smoked heavily, the scent of charred meat drifting toward the sky. Music boomed from speakers set up on porches. And in the center of it all, my family. They stood there like royalty, performing Happy Family for an audience that swallowed it whole. Dad was laughing too loudly. Mom wore the bright yet tight smile she reserved for church and public events. Sarah tossed her hair and leaned lovingly into her boyfriend for maximum effect. Then Dad spotted me. His voice boomed across the yard. There she is, Dina! Heads turned, eyes landed on me. Mom rushed over, clinging to my arm with a smile too wide. Our daughter's always there for us, she told the neighbors loudly. Such a good girl, so generous. Sarah chimed in, smug as ever. We honestly couldn't manage without her. Neighbors raised glasses, nodded approvingly, smiled at the image presented. A strong family, a united family, a loving family. I smiled lightly and tilted my head. Oh, strong like at Thanksgiving? Silence. A slice of cold air cut straight through the July heat. Mom's grip on my arm faltered. Dad stiffened. Sarah's expression twisted. Dina, Dad said in a warning tone, not here. Oh no, I said softly. Here is perfect. The truth unfolds. I took a breath, raised my voice ever so slightly, just enough for the crowd to hear. Since we're being honest and showing everyone what a strong family we are, let's start with this. I pulled my phone from my bag. And maybe we can explain how I've been paying $2,900 a month for their house for 3 years. Gasps, whispers. Mom's face drained of color. Sarah hissed, Are you really doing this now? Oh, I continued. And Mom, your $3,700 shopping debt? I smiled sweetly. Never even got so much as a thank you. Mom's wine glass trembled in her hand. And Sarah? I turned to her slowly. Your shiny red SUV, the one you brag about online. Hope you took good pictures because the dealership is taking it back. Sarah's jaw dropped. You have lost your mind. No, I cut in. For the first time, I've found it. Then, in one motion, I tapped my screen and cast it to the neighbor's large backyard movie projector. The screen lights up. A giant photo appeared. Thanksgiving dinner. Everyone laughing around the beautifully set table. Everyone except me. Whispers rippled through the crowd. Then came the screenshots. And manipulative texts. Guilt trips. Requests for money. Promises never kept. Emotional leverage. Every lie laid bare. Scrolling, scrolling, scrolling. The projector glowed with their hypocrisy. Dad grabbed my arm. Dina, turn this off right now. I yanked my arm free. No, I said, my voice steady, clear. You used me. You excluded me. You lied to me. You drained me. And now you're embarrassed because people finally see the truth. Sarah lunged toward the projector remote. Too late. Half the neighborhood had already recorded everything. The whispers weren't whispers anymore. They were conclusions. Did they really leave her out? She paid 3 years of their mortgage? That's horrible. Why would they do that to their own daughter? My mother's face crumpled. Sarah stomped her foot, seething. Dad shook with restrained rage. But I was calm, still, complete. I'm done, I said. Not dramatic, not loud, just final. Then I turned and walked away while my family shouted behind me, pleading, crying, denying, spinning. I didn't look back once. The days after, I expected guilt, sadness, regret. Instead, I felt something unfamiliar and almost frightening. Freedom. For the first time in years, my phone didn't buzz with demands. And the consequences came swiftly, not for me, but for them. And mortgage unpaid, foreclosure warnings, credit card canceled, overdrafts, SUV repossessed, public humiliation, grocery bills unpaid, arguments spilling into voicemail, utilities cut, neighbors whispering, my viral post, spreading across social media. People related to my story. People defended me. People exposed them further. My parents lost their image. Their respectable family mask shattered. Meanwhile, I made 3 simple calls. Disputed 3 years of mortgage payments. $12,400 refunded. Disputed fraud on mom's credit card. $3,700 refunded. SUV auctioned after repossession. $4,200 returned. Altogether, over $30,000 recovered. All legally, all legitimately, all documented. While they spiraled, I healed. The rainy knock. One evening, the sky opened up and rain hammered against my windows. Around 10 p.m., 3 soft knocks echoed through my apartment hallway. I opened the door. Mom, Dad, Sarah. Soaked, small, eyes red, faces hollow. Dina, Dad whispered. Please, we're sorry. We lost everything. Sarah stepped forward. Can we talk? We need you. I stared at them through the rain, through the years, through the lies. You didn't care when you had me, I said softly. You only care now that you lost what you used. Then I closed the door. Slowly, quietly, firmly. They didn't knock again. One last encounter. Weeks later, I saw Dad at the grocery store. He looked older somehow, deflated, ashamed. He didn't make excuses, didn't beg. He simply said, I know we were wrong. I hope you find it in your heart to forgive us someday. I met his eyes. I don't know if forgiveness is the right word, I said, but I do know this. I'm not your victim anymore. He nodded, tears pricking his eyes. I walked away. Peace. Now, when I wake up in my quiet, sunlit apartment, there's no guilt, no buzzing phone, no obligations I never chose. Just peace and freedom, and the sound of my own life, finally uncluttered. Independence, I've learned, is priceless.